Zaffa presents Return to the Dover Café, written by Ginny Bell and read by Bea Holland. Prologue. The sound of the wind was drowned out by the wailing of the air raid siren and the crash of bombs as they rained down on Dover. Intermittently, the sky lit up as searchlights sought out enemy planes and the rumble of the ack-ack guns joined the cacophony. Seemingly oblivious, a figure scuttled through the back streets, keeping close to the buildings as they made their way towards Castle's Café. On Church Street, they paused briefly by the wooden gate that led to the cafe's back door. Glancing around to check no one had seen them, then they slipped through and flitted silently across the yard. As always, the back door was unlocked, and in the small hallway, they opened the basement door an inch, listening carefully. Nellie Castle's strident voice floated towards them. Satisfied that the family had taken shelter, they tiptoed through the kitchen and up the stairs. The smell hit Nellie the minute she walked into her bedroom. Rosewater, so strong that she clapped her hand over her nose and mouth. Her first instinct was to run back to the basement, but with Marianne close behind her, she forced herself to walk in and shut the door. Inside, she opened the window, then sat on the edge of the bed and looked around the room fearfully. "Gladys," she whispered. "Is that you?" Chapter 1. March 1941. "She's at it again." A middle-aged woman wearing a green headscarf tied tightly under her chin stood in front of the counter of Turner's grocery store and nodded towards the boarded-up window, which had once provided a clear view onto Dover's Market Square. "Who's at what?" Renee Turner asked distractedly, blowing a lock of curly blonde hair out of her eyes as she reached up to take down a couple of tins of meat. "Nellie Castle." Renee put the tins down and peered through the strip of celluloid that allowed a modicum of light to shine into the shop. It was early morning on a cold, grey day, and even though they'd only just opened, a queue of women already snaked up towards Cannon Street. And every one of them was looking across the square. The view through the celluloid was blurry, but it wasn't hard to see what they were looking at. Kneeling on the pavement beneath the window of Castle's Café, Nellie Castle was scrubbing at the pavement. Her bright red skirt stretched tight across her ample backside. Every so often she'd stop to dip her brush into a bucket of water beside her. Then she'd start again. The woman sniffed. "Word is she's gone a bit doolally," she declared. "And it don't matter how much she scrubs, it's not going to clean her conscience. Poor Gladys, that woman had a heart of gold, and look where it got her. Murdered, right outside the cafe." Renee's heart sank. She hadn't seen Nellie doing that for some weeks, and she'd hoped the worst of her grief at the death of her friend had passed. "I hope you're not trying to imply that Nellie had anything to do with Gladys's death, Mrs. Grantham," Renee said. The woman's bushy eyebrows rose. "Course I'm not. But she's clearly gone loopy. If we all spent our lives scrubbing at every bloodstain in Dover, we'd none of us get anything done. Anyway, Gladys died weeks ago, there's no stain there. But I'll tell you where there is one." She pointed at her head. "Mrs. Castle's taken Gladys's death badly, that's all. And if doing that makes her feel a bit better, then it's not harming anyone, is it?" Renee said. "She's making a bloody spectacle of herself," Mrs. Grantham explained. "And I'll tell you something else. You won't catch me in the cafe no more. And it's not just 'cause of poor old Gladys. Nellie was harbouring a spy all them weeks. How could she not have known what that woman were up to? I used to see her, you know, Hester bloody Erskine, out and about at all hours, walking around town with young Donny Castle and Freddie Perkins. What woman of a certain age..."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?